Hi, kids. It's Bondzee. Bondzee Live. Now, I couldn't hear that's why. Gregory, that's why. There we go. That should be much better now. Welcome, everybody. It's Bondzee Live on Trippin With Bondzee on YouTube, also on the Dean Blundell Network, and that thing called Facebook. Welcome to the show. I got a great show for you tonight. An amazing interview with a special guest, senior PGA pro Dennis Hendershott. We were supposed to have musical guest and one of my best pals in the world in Jamie Petrie, but apparently going to get a car with your daughter, her first car ever, is way more important. How dare he? Poor Bondzee. Always second fiddle. Story of my life, quite frankly. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't have it any other way. He's like, dude, I'll take her tomorrow, but she's been waiting for me all day, and I worked late. And I'm like, my guy, this ain't no, David Letterman or anything. Your daughter and her first car is way, way more important. So, my boy Jamie Petrie, and not only Jamie, we get an extra little surprise. So on Wednesday, Jamie Petrie and his band, brand new band, by the way, and I'm not going to tell you the new name. I'll let Jamie tell it. There's two reasons for that. One, it's a surprise, and two, I don't remember. So there's that. Welcome, everybody, wherever you're watching from, whether it's on my YouTube channel, Trippin With Bondzee, or the Dean Blundell Network. Pleasure to have you along for the ride. Oh, man, I've had a day today. So yesterday was my third official week, 3 full weeks I've been here at this resort. And I've been in this California area for five weeks now, with no end in sight, by the way. So, I am definitely here one more week. I hope to have everything sorted out with insurance by the end of this week, but y'all know how that all goes with insurance and everything. Anne Marie, thanks for watching from the Midland Penetang area. Alan Dalton, I believe my boy moved out to PEI. That's where he is. Thanks for watching there, brother. Really appreciate that. So listen, yesterday, I started the process to apply for an extended visa here in the good old US of A. I still do have a couple months left, but it's time to get the ball rolling now, because I have no aspirations of coming back to Canada anytime soon. So I want to do everything legit and by the books. So I just applied, or started the process to apply for my extended visa. So hopefully that will all work out and go super smooth. And so again, I'm looking forward to having answer some insurance this week. I'll either be out of here for a little bit, I think, just to scoot down to Nicaragua, see some friends, say hello. Other than that, it'll be looking for some houses to split with my son and move to the LA region, where it's a shit ton cooler. And a shit ton more opportunities for old Bonzarelli. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be an exciting next couple weeks, because I really want to figure out what's going on. I'm this close to being done my reel. Then I can apply and hire an agent. I don't want to I don't want to put the cart before the horse, if you will. I need to get my reel done first, then get the agent. Then we can start going to auditions and stuff. And I'm really excited for that. I keep having these dreams of going to auditions and stuff, and it's like I'm not even scared, which is funny, because everything else I've done in this voice work aspect, and especially doing when I started calling soccer games for the first time, I'll never forget it. I think I just told this story recently on Dean Blundell's podcast. My first, I think the first game was at 9 a.m. My time, and I think from 3 a.m. till 8:59, I barfed my brains out and also caused myself to be sick of diarrhea, because the nerves were uncanny. And I'm sure that's going to happen once I go to my first audition, whether it be a voice audition, any commercial, I don't care what it is. But Bonzarelli is definitely determined to get his ass to LA and see what happens, because nothing's going to happen if you don't go there and try. And I've come this far. And I'm not. It's my full goal. I no longer want to drive this bus full time like I thought I did. I had a great 4 months doing it. I shot so much content, but I just realized it's not 100. I did love doing it. Don't get me wrong. But I just realized there's bigger and better things for me that I want to and need to focus on much more than trying to be some fly-by-night YouTube star kind of deal. I think my focus and the drive that I have here is more better spent heading to Los Angeles and getting an agent and trying to get some voice work. So that's where we're heading. Alan Dalton says, are you going to do any more traveling in the States? No, I hope not. To be honest with you, I really hope not. That is not the goal anymore. I think I just explained it pretty clearly what I'm up to. So Denise Cockrell, thanks for watching so much as well. Love you so much. What else? Excuse me. This cough is almost gone. Like it's like we're this close. What else? Oh, so today, Jesus Christ. I've been busting it out on here. I haven't left the bus in a while since I went and stayed at my buddy's house when it was in a ridiculous amount of heat here. But then I it's been nice being back on the bus and just grinding it out again. And old Bondzee decided to take a venture out today. Went golfing, got invited to a private club. Now, it was great because I got up super early because I knew this was in the works. So I went and ran this morning. Old Tubby here has been, I'd say out of the last month, I've probably missed 5 days of running. So I'm pretty excited about that. Once I get it in my mind and get in that routine, look the hell out. And I really did miss running. And I realized how much I missed it doing it every day now. Every day it gets easier. The times get faster. Now, I used to be one of those guys that posted every day and, I went running. People get sick of that. I post enough on social media now because I have to stay in the algorithm for what I'm doing. I don't think you guys need to see that old Tubby Wubby here ran 5 days out of the last 6, you know? Anyways, I'm enjoying it. So I went to the gym early this morning, got picked up, went golfing. Now, old Bondzee here almost didn't even make it through 9 holes. Not even 9. I barely made it through 6 before I had to call. We actually had to call a time. I had to call a timeout, and we actually sat for about 10 minutes in the shade. I was struggling. It wasn't that hot here today even. I mean, last week when we played, it was way hotter. So I'm not sure if it was the fact that it already went running, exerted some energy. I've been drinking a ton of water because I'm running every day now, and it is just so hot here. You legit just simply have to drink water. So I don't think I wasn't even dehydrated. I don't know what it was, but major dizziness. I couldn't catch my breath. And it's the first time I kind of ever felt like that. It was really weird. I think it was a minor case heat stroke. And anyways, I pulled through. By the end of the 9th hole, I felt a lot better. Kept chugging ice water, wet ice cold towels on the back of the neck, on the wrists. They say is really good too. Anyways, I was pretty pumped. I felt so much better on the back 9. Shot a tidy 86, which is pretty good for. I did struggle with the heat, and then on the back 9, I always play barefoot on the back 9. It's a thing with old Bondzee, and I always seem to play better in bare feet for some reason. Anyway, I learned my lesson today why maybe it's not such a good idea to play bare feet in the desert. Was in the rough. I think it was on 11 or 12. And all of a sudden I could feel this burning on my feet. I looked down. Both of my feet are covered in fire ants. My God. I've never been attacked by fire ants before. I don't know about you, but holy shit balls. My feet were on fire. I had to do the old like Indian shaky dakey dance and get them all off my feet. Looked like a complete moron out there. Anyways, I got them all off my feet, but the burning sensation didn't go away for the entire rest of the round. I had to keep pouring ice water on my feet. It was a shitty experience, man. So it sucks because I love playing bare feet, but I don't know if I'll go through that pain and torture again. That's for sure. Anthony Leflar, yeah, back 9 bare feet. We used to do it in Nicaragua. I played bare feet the entire 18 holes in Nicaragua. I love it. But here you try to be It's not even a respect thing. I don't care. I don't think anybody would care whether I played bare feet or not. I don't know. Thanks, Alan, for the good luck wishes. And I'm one of those guys that just doesn't quit with what I do. Wendy Don Quinlan, thanks for watching from. Oh, I almost said PI, but you're a little further in Newfoundland. I almost said Newfoundland, and then you would have jumped through the phone and punched me in the face because you're not supposed to say Newfoundland. I think it's right. It's Newfoundland. Anyways, I hope I got that right. I'm pretty sure I had it in the right order. Anyways, yeah, so that's it for my little golf stories today. 86 with 17 and 18. I went double bogey. I was just spent. My feet were on fire. And it's not that I don't feel well right now. I just feel like all the energy was just like sucked right out of me out in this. This heat is wicked. And anyways, I better get used to it because old Bonzarelli here might be caddying on the LPGA Tour next week. Yes, that's true. Where I'm at right now is actually a famous private club. It's called Mission Hills, where they play the Dinah Shore Classic every year on the LPGA. You might recognize it. It's where the winner jumps in the pond with their caddy on 18 after they win every year. So right now it's not that tournament, but it's I'm confused. I can't remember if it's a Q school qualifying or if it's just a qualifier for the upcoming LPGA event. All I know is this: plethora of women around the golf course today, plethora of short skirts, and somebody might need old Bonzarelli to caddy for them. So I will find out in the next few days, and that would certainly be something really cool to go and do. It'd be a 4-day gig, paid as well. And yeah, I would love the experience. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned, and I'll definitely let you know what's happening there. Speaking of private clubs, I drove by the ultimate private club here in Palm Desert the other day. You might recognize it. It's called Bighorn. I think I have a picture of it here. Hold on. I am flying solo again tonight simply because I don't have a lot of pictures to pull up. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Beautiful, beautiful golf course right at the base of the mountains. Stunning views everywhere. Ultimate private. It was where Tiger Woods played Sergio Garcia many years ago in a head-to-head battle at Bighorn, if you remember that. Anyways, I drove by it. I saw it. I was like, oh, that'd be cool to go in and maybe, get some footage for my YouTube channel and stuff. So I do a U-turn. I spin in. I get into the front gate. This lady immediately comes out. She's like, whoa. She's like, can I help you, sir? I'm like, yeah, I just would like to come in and, just take a nice drive around it. I've heard great things about this place, and I would like to get some footage for my YouTube channel. She just goes, no. The exit's that way. Right there, left by. Not even polite about it either. Anyways, so because she said I couldn't film, so the first thing I did, grabbed my camera and started filming as I did the old U-turn and drove out of there. I looked over and I could just hear her going, fuck you. I just wanted to get a bit of footage. Like, it's not like I was going to go in and wreck the place and do burnouts and stuff. Like, give me a break. So hoity-toity. Anyways, I thought it was pretty funny to go in there and immediately get booted out. Hopefully one day when I'm famous, I'll be able to go back there and hopefully that same bitch is working. And I'll be like, oh, remember me? Yeah, well, I'm coming in this time. And not only am I driving around and taking video, I'm playing too. Thank you very much. Okay, what else? Excuse me. I had a quick sip of my hot water here. I've been on the hot water and honey again lately, and I think between that, I got some really good cough medicine that tastes like rat's piss. Oh my God. But it's working. I'm this close to being like I said, rid of this cough, which I think you guys can tell compared to the past few shows, which have been disastrous, if you will. No, not in the sense. I thought they were really good shows. I mean, disastrous in the sense of my voice. Actually, one thing that really helped me on the course today that was able to made me survive the back nine was we got some cloud cover, which I haven't seen in, God, I think 2 weeks here. So that was really nice. It plummeted the temperature. I think we might even dropped out of the hundreds into maybe a cool 99. I can't see the temperature on the buy. I have a thermometer. a digital thermometer that shows me the temperature outside, but it is not within eyesight as I speak. So Wendy Daw says, no, I wouldn't, because I say it that way. I get shit all the time. The good old big boss. Yeah. So it's been great here. I'm having a great time in Palm Desert, besides the heat. I really do wish I had a car. I'm thinking about maybe looking at purchasing a scooter. That, I don't have to go very far around here and stuff to get supplies and just scoot down to the golf courses. They're everywhere around here. So I wouldn't have to go very far. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll figure that out in the next little bit, because a scooter is something I could definitely use if I'm living in the LA area with my son Ty in the next month or two. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, speaking of that trip up, when I rented the car and I stopped at Bighorn, I dropped that video where I went up to San Jacinto State Park at the top of the mountains. That video is out on YouTube now. Please go check that out. It's a pretty cool video. I'm pretty proud of that one. And we'll have more dropping very, very soon. I will also have, if you missed my amazing interview with, way to pat myself on the back, eh? Was it amazing, Bondzee? Really? Was it? Who says? Actually, a lot of people said, so suck it if you don't like it. If you didn't think it was amazing, well, that's your own fault. I thought it was amazing, and so did other people. So there. Anyways, you'll be able to check out my interview with Trusty Truster, Rich Meisner. I edited it down so there's no more interference with the use your big boy words, Bondzee, with the Wi-Fi connection that he had. So I made it tighter. It all flows real nice. So that bonkcast will be dropping, I believe, tomorrow morning. So be sure to check that out. What else? Why don't I, you know what? Let's do, I was going to play vids first and then go into the video. Why don't we play the video first? The video. Why don't I got some great videos coming up for you, but why don't we get into the interview? He's been waiting ever so patiently. It's my guy. It's my guy, Dennis. I haven't seen him in so long. We used to go way back, but listen, we'll get into it in the interview and you'll be able to find out everything about it. And this guy is a bit of a big deal. He just won. Well, we'll hear all about it. Let's talk about it in the interview. Without further ado, let's get to it. It's my boy. All right, it's Bondzee Live on Trippin With Bondzee on YouTube and the Dean Blundell Network. Special guest today, Dennis Hendershott from the Canadian Tour, PGA Tour, and the Senior PGA Tour. Welcome to the show, bud. It's been a hot minute since we've last spoke or seen each other.
Cheers, pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're not a big Facebook guy, but I do see your wife on there from time to time and posting stuff. And she just posted something pretty huge for old Dennis there.
Thanks, old Dennis.
I meant old Dennis as in OL, not OLD.
Okay. Oh,
because you're not that much older than me, so I can't really be calling you old man.
Yeah.
But you just did have something awesome happen to you, and we'll get into that. And congratulations, by the way. But let's go back before we even get there. I believe you and I and Kara met in, would it 2005 be correct? Somewhere around there when you started the Golf Town National Amateur Tour.
Yeah, I think even the Great Lakes, we had an AM tour, and I think you might have participated in that before it became
the Golf Town Tour. Anyways, that was a real treat for me. I had never ever played competitive golf, and I certainly struggled definitely the first year. It's a whole different monster, as you know, being a professional. When you're out playing with your buddies and drinking and smoking and doing whatever and just having fun, then you get into the competitive realm. It is a whole different monster out there, isn't it?
I guess it just depends on how you look at it. I mean, it's golf. It's a game, and you can put as much pressure on yourself as you wish to.
Golf is a very cruel game.
Yeah, you have to be prepared for bad breaks. Every day is different, and like you said, there's a lot of pressure to play the game, but you can also apply a lot to yourself as well.
Yeah, definitely. Which you have learned over the years, as I did. I spent I think I played for 6 or 7 years on that tour. And I remember my first championship. I played with a girl, and she was one of the hottest girls I've ever seen in my life. And I remember being so nervous on that first tee and stuff. I think I took a 13. Oh man!
You might have. Did you ask me for that pairing? You might have asked me for that pairing too. Who knows?
No, in fact, I was upset with that pairing because she was too hot. Like, how am I supposed to concentrate on my first championship, and I got to stare at this beautiful human being the whole round? Anyways, I did calm down. Thing.
Yeah,
it was, but it took me a hot second to get used to. Anyways, I did have a memorable round with her. She was a wonderful person. I think she just got home from playing golf in the States in college. So, but then, and I think I came dead last in my field, my first championships. But then I just continued to get better after that. Anyways, fabulous time. With you guys over those years, a ton of great memories, and from what we went to Durrell, that was a fabulous week down there. We spent some time at Big Bear Mountain, Big Bear Mountain in Victoria.
Bear Mountain in Victoria. That was what a week of weather that was. I can remember. Never mind that we had Hurricane Sandy whip through at Durrell. If you can remember that year.
We got stuck down there too for an extra few days. I'll never forget that time. Playing on that tour and stuff and becoming friends with you and Kara led me to getting invited to a Pro-Am event down in Panama City Beach, which is another week I'll never forget. If you remember, Dum Dum here let his passport expire and found out the day before we were supposed to leave, I think. So I missed that flight because it was Thanksgiving weekend.
I do remember that now. Yeah. That's right. You were scrambling. I'm like, I was going to be missing one of my partners on my team. That's right. I did have you down for that. Good times there. So
that was a great time. I got to meet some great people down there as well that I'm proud to say I'm still friends with to this day. So one of the most memorable golf trips I've ever been on, that's for sure. Then, if you remember, there was the infamous sleepover because we lived a couple hours apart, and but you live rather close to my parents. So I'd come up one night to visit you guys, and we got into the old red wine, if you will. So I ended up sleeping over, and if you remember.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, of course. I fell down the stairs holding a goblet, and of course it was full of red wine all over your beautiful white carpets.
Yeah, I remember very well. Yeah.
That was a costly fall down the stairs, believe me, you.
We got it cleaned up, though. I remember you had somebody come in the next day. They were in there cleaning it up. Yeah,
they were. Awesome. So I thought I'd never be invited back, but lo and behold, I was. And then we spent some more. We spent some more time together. You just bought a house and we're flipping it, and you're a renovator guru, if you will. And I did all the painting for you, so I got to spend a week with you guys then, and no red wine was spilt on that trip. I remember.
No, we made it. We made it through. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, great memories, and it's too bad we haven't seen each other in so long. But I haven't really been in Canada a whole lot since 2016 either. So, anyways, I do miss you guys, and but I've been following along. I know one of your girls is really into golf, and she's really good, right? Is it Haley?
Yeah, Haley, our middle daughter. Yeah, she's doing all right. You know, she has aspirations for sure. So, you know, she's getting a great experience. You know, having the opportunity to see me play, and we play a lot together whenever I'm around, and you know, she's getting to see it at a very high level. So she loves that she loves that aspect of it. Loves, you know, the you know, just the whole atmosphere of being at a PGA Tour event. So she does aspire to play on the LPGA Tour one day. So it's
That's
exciting.
Amazing. I've seen her swing. Holy mackerel! puts many fellas to shame that I've played golf with. That's for sure. Her swing is tidy.
She's been doing great. She's out at Brantford Golf and Country Club, and I get texts regularly from some of my old buddies. I'm no longer a member out there just because my travel. There's just no reason for me to have a home club here. I'm here for 2 weeks, but constantly getting texts from a lot of my old buddies because she's not afraid to play with anybody, and she's back playing the whites with the guys my age or older, and you know, just pounding it. So she loves it. She's that part of it's good too. I'm glad that she's willing to go out and play with anybody and not be intimidated, and so it's going well. She loves it. I'm excited for her. It's fun to have one of my daughters at least playing the game that I love too. But there's a little bit of interest with the other two as well. But when they choose to do it, I'll be there for them as well.
Amazing. And Haley has had some competitive experience, if you will. Memory serves me correct. She's been on, I think, a couple of times down to the drive, chip, and putt challenge.
Yeah. She made it to I guess it would be the semifinals, the one before Augusta, on 2 different occasions. She's too old for that now. 16 last year was her last year, I believe, and they canceled it, so she didn't get to do it the last season. But that's so she had that experience, and one of her friends that she had met through drive, chip, and putt, Nicole Gall, has turned into a fabulous player. Just won the Canadian Juniors and finished second in the Canadian Women's Am, and so she's also seeing some of her friends have success, and that's motivating her as well. So yeah,
definitely. All right, well, let's get into some golf, and before we get to golf, real quick, you're a man of many talents. You used to be. Now, were you ever professional? It was BMX, right, that you were into when you were younger?
Bicycle motocross, yeah. I never turned pro, but that was part of my growing up. Was why I moved to Florida and went to high school down there, was because of bicycle motocross. And it was, my dad was down there. He's been down there since I was 2 years old. So I spent a lot of summers there, and that was my passion. I loved hockey. I played a lot of hockey growing up, but I preferred summer sports, obviously, you live down in South Florida, you end up becoming a surfer as well. So
I was just about to touch on that.
That appealed to me more than the hockey did, even though I played AAA hockey most of my life growing up. I just really like summer sports better. I don't know. Some people like the cold. Some people like sunshine and palm trees.
Yeah, that's me, the latter. So you didn't even get into golf, because you mentioned surfing. You got into surfing as well, which you were really good at. Golf really wasn't on your the forefront for quite a while, was it?
Not at all. I mean, I did start playing golf at 6 or 7 years old, but whatever you call it, you'd go out with your uncle, your grandfather, and then even down there, down in Florida, if it was once a month, I was shocked that I played golf. Sometimes I'd go a few months without, but I'd get out with my dad Saturday mornings. Who wants to get up at 6:30 to have breakfast and play golf at 7 with 40, 50-year-olds? Not me. Yeah. I'd rather sleep in, go surf, ride my BMX bike. But anyways, so I didn't even think about golf until I ended up moving back to Canada in my early 20s. And, it started really late. But again, it was just one of those things here in Canada. You play hockey in winter and you golf in the summer,
Yeah, that's exactly it. So when do you decide? So you don't take up golf to your 20s. Obviously, you realize that you've got some game and some potential. Where along the lines do you find yourself going, man, I really want to play this game and make some chat out of it?
Well, that didn't really come right away. It was just, again, you take it up. I fell in love with the game. I think just because of the challenge of it, and I had a bit of talent, right away in my 20s. I started to, break 80, and then all of a sudden I'm breaking par. And then I play in my first tournament, I think at the age of 25. And I just became addicted to the game, just the challenge of it. And it was a couple of years later when I was living out in British Columbia, and I started playing, some of the amateur tournaments, the BCAM, Pub Links. And that really got me. I loved being in that environment. I'm just that competitive nature, and I hadn't really had it, get back into playing some hockey, and you're playing, some rec hockey with guys that think they're still going to make the NHL. It just wasn't my cup of tea. But that really got me going. And I ended up going down to Arizona for a few months and started playing some mini tours. I didn't even really know what it was. Didn't really even know much about the professional aspect. I just knew I could play for money down there. A buddy of mine was telling me about some mini tours, and cashed a few checks, and then that was it. I was hooked, and you start chasing things.
Yeah. So you end up getting. You end up with a lady, and having 3 beautiful girls, and so you turn more into the business side of things of golf, correct? Like you said, you started the Great Lakes Tour with Kara, which involved it turned into the Golf Town Tour, and then you guys got bought out by the Golf Channel AM Tour. So
go ahead.
After all that happens, that's where you really start to take golf even more seriously again. Is that correct?
I think, if we digress a little bit, the Great Lakes Tour, I was chasing the Canadian Tour, like the Monday qualifiers. I'd gone to Q School for the first time, and I think I missed by 5 shots. It was like 260 players that used to be out in British Columbia. So I was close right then to just having some status. So I decided to follow it across the country, and I ended up Monday qualifying into my first event, first one I went to, got into the Ontario Open, and ended up playing in that and something in St. John's and PEI in the first year. I met Kara in my travels that year. And, when I was back in Ontario and I was looking for more events to play and just to be competitive, because, playing with your buddies, it's great. I love it, but it wasn't going to push me to that next level. And so I had played the mini tours in Arizona, and I was like, well, why isn't there a mini tour here in Canada? There's nothing going on. And when I had met Kara, she had informed me that she had also worked for the Ontario PGA and knew a lot of the pros. And it just snowballed into, well, we need to create something. I need more events to play in. And, I'll try to create the best fields that I can, get people to come out so that I'm basically creating my own environment, to aspire to play at the highest level. And, that was part of it. But then I realized as we had the kids and the business took over that, I stopped chasing the Canadian Tour in 2007. I had status twice out there, unsuccessfully played. But I knew I wasn't putting in the effort, but I was more interested in seeing the business succeed, and things just kept getting bigger and bigger, and wasn't going to allow me to put the time in. So the focus changed to the business aspect of it. I still played. I mean, I still won, I think, 5 times on the Great Lakes Tour,
nice.
Played sporadic events, and still really wanted to be a professional golfer. But I wasn't anywhere near where I needed to be. But as it got further on, as I was getting closer to 50, I started to, in the back of my mind, started thinking, you know what, this is when hopefully I'm going to have the opportunity. I'm going to be healthy enough, and I'm going to pursue it hard at that time and see really how good I can become.
Right. And look at you now. So previous to the pandemic, you end up qualifying for 4 senior PGA events. And 3 of those 4 were from Monday qualifiers, which that's a grind in itself, right? Take me through real quick what the kind of pressure to playing a Monday qualifier, because you're that close. Is it really a grind and as crazy as I think it is, and from what I've seen on some documentaries and stuff?
100%. I mean, it's hard. The golf part of it isn't the grind. The golf, when you get to the first tee, you've done all the work. You've done the travel to get there. That's the hardest part. That's the grind is being on the road. You're away from your family. And then you have 18 holes that you need to go out and perform. And that's why I used to always tell a lot of the young guys that were coming out on the Great Lakes Tour to not underestimate the value of playing one-day tournaments. As a professional golfer, if you haven't got through Q School, 90% of everything that you're going to try to qualify for is a one-day tournament. You're in a one-day shootout, and you need to be able to be mentally strong and not make big mistakes in one round. It's one thing when you have 4 rounds, 3 rounds, 2-round tournaments. You have an opportunity to gain your footing if you recover if you've had any mishaps or you're just not sharp. But you never underestimate the one-dayers. But the grind part of it, I think that's part of my advantage. I haven't done it my whole life. I started late. A lot of guys are starting when they're 18, 19, the guys that are chasing the PGA Tour. And I'm not burnt out. I mean, I love it. Yes, it is hard. The traveling, I mean, especially when you get into an event and then all of a sudden you're on a flight the next day to get into the next qualifier if you're not exempt, like in my case. So that part of it it's difficult, but I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
I see. I've been in the environment. I've experienced these events now, and it's one thing. The PGA Tour, what they have to offer, some of the perks and everything. But, these guys that are playing on the Champions Tour are Hall of Famers. They're also the best of the best. They're the guys that have won the most tournaments in the career. You're not just playing with a bunch of journeymen. These are Hall of Famers. So,
yeah,
my first experience when I Monday qualified for the British Senior Open, that was my first tournament as a senior, a true PGA Tour event. And, I made the cut. I was playing relatively well. I think I was only 7 shots off the lead going into Sunday, and I got paired with Freddie Couples. So,
no way.
So that
boom,
was like,
boom, Freddie.
Yeah. Hello. Here you go, Den.
That's amazing.
Kara was more excited about it when she saw the draw. I'm like, Kara, you need to calm down. I got to play with him. Okay. This is my first experience. Tom Watson was in the group behind us. So
what a way to start on the senior PGA Tour, eh, bud?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was surreal, but even when I got back into my hometown and, people are all, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm like, yeah, but I was there to do a job. I wish I had played better on the weekend. I think I made 1 birdie and shot 73, 75. And Freddie beat me by 2. And I just said, that's just the beginning. Like, that's just the beginning for me. And then, it's fortunate to go on and Monday qualify for 3 more events out there, which in those smaller fields, it's kind of neat. You're in an environment where there's only 78 players. It's not 144 players. And you're all there on the range in a 2-hour window. It's not like you can go pick a time to go hide on the range somewhere and say, I'm just going to sneak in a little practice here and maybe not be next to Retief Goosen and Ernie Els or whoever. So if you're not prepared for that, you might as well not, go home. You got to be prepared for that aspect.
There's some big ass names on the senior PGA Tour now. Because I'm 47 and I watched all these guys on the PGA Tour, and now, they were always older than me, and there's some amazing names on the senior tour. If you watch a senior tour now event, for me, it's almost like watching a PGA event, because I watched all these guys, play, and they're still playing at an awesome competitive level. So for you to even get there and make it, dude, as just a guy who started late in life, that's a huge accomplishment and something you should be really proud of. So congrats for that.
Oh, I appreciate it. I mean, there's a lot of people that are capable of doing things. You just have to put your mind to it, and you have to be the one. You're going to be the only. You might have a tight knit group that believe in you, but if you can't believe in yourself, that's the thing. I've always believed in my ability and most things that I do, and that's part of. I can guarantee you, there's some of my peers within the PGA a few years ago that may have known my golf game at that time. Probably wouldn't have thought that out of Danny King and a handful of us that have become seniors, that it'd be me that was getting starts and working as hard as I am. But, there's just another level that you need to find. And I've always known that from my different athletic backgrounds, that I have that. So I believe.
Right. So where does this confidence and this, there's a word I'm looking for, but we'll just go with the confidence. Where did this all come from? From your dad, from a grandfather, or is it just something you kind of you're mentally tough, is what I was looking for, and I've seen it in everything you do. Where does it come from?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I think the opportunity, like any child, if your parents provide you the opportunity to be competitive and to try different sports. I've always said to my girls that, and I have 3 different personalities for sure, that you can't teach moxie, right? And you either have it or you don't. But right now that's part of it. Just having moxie, believing.
Sure. So you play in 4 events, including Pebble Beach, by the way, which must have been an amazing experience.
That was cool.
The pandemic hits, and it almost seems like it I'm not going to say it hurt you, but it came at probably a shitty time for you, because you were kind of in a groove, and I would like to say you probably hitting your stride, and then all of a sudden, whammo, no golf. How did you feel about that? Do you feel the same way, that you were right there and pretty close?
You know what? First of all, I got to say that as a professional golfer, I don't feel in any way that I'm disadvantaged because of it, because I know a lot of other people have suffered a lot worse because of the pandemic. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, woe is me that I had to miss some golf tournaments. So, but yeah, I mean, it's tough when you're turning 50 because, there's probably a very small window, that you're going to be fit, and you never know about injuries and stuff. I'm thankful. I'm happy that I'm pretty physically fit relative to most 50-year-olds. So, and I still have a ton of speed in my golf swing, and that's a big advantage. And yes, I hope that I can get some starts and get something rolling again, because I am starting to play really well. And this last winter, I used that time to make some changes in my golf swing. I recognize that I need to be prepared to be in a position to win, and I better be able to trust it. And I've been working. So I use that time, work on my short game, tighten up my driver. Just I use the time well. I played a lot of mini tour events in Florida with all the young guys, and had some success in a couple of state opens, different things. So I've used the time wisely. I'm looking forward to this. This is a blessing. I'm pretty stoked that the guys at the Shaw charity decided that I was fit for one of these spots, with only 2 guys getting unrestricted exemption into this tournament. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. I just Kara sent me some notes on that, and I didn't realize that you were one of 2 guys that got the exemption. And we will touch base on that coming up shortly. But so let's get into you're traveling around. You've been traveling around in a trailer, I understand, right? Playing these mini events that you're talking about.
I try to take it as much as I can. I've got a 30-foot Coachman, tow behind trailer, and I wish I had just bought a truck camper. To be honest with you, it'd be easier than pulling a 30-footer around. But you have your place with you. It's awesome. It's gone. I don't know, a couple 100,000 kilometers, I guess I put on that thing. Wow. I take it as much as I can, but some of them, you can't get to the next place in time with driving, especially as a qualifier.
Yeah.
So it gets a little tight, but it's been a blessing. I'm glad that we had done that too, because my home course in Florida, I parked the trailer right next to the pool house. They let me stay right at the golf course. The guys drive my cart over in the morning. I wake up, my cart's sitting out there, and I just go freewheel it and practice and play all winter. And again, I take it to most of the golf courses down there in the tournaments, and a lot of places are really good and let me park right on site.
That's cool. Awesome. Well, I can certainly relate for sure. The golf part, no. The traveling and living in a bus or trailer, yes. Yes. So you're just up in Canada, Mister, and I saw you played in a Mackenzie Tour event.
Yes. Yeah.
That didn't go so well. And then
no.
The following week, or was it 2 weeks after that event?
It was just the last 2 weeks, back to back.
Yeah. So the next you missed the cut in the Mackenzie Tour. Yep. The next week you go out and lo and behold, you win the goddamn tournament. Congrats, mister. That's huge.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, you're always, that's the thing. People, players realize that you're always that one tournament away. I mean, if you look at Phil Mickelson's career, he crashed and burns the week before, and then all of a sudden he goes out and wins the next week. I knew I was really close. I put a lot of work in, but I had mentioned in one of my interviews with the CPGA that I was disheartened because I've been struggling a little bit with the scoring aspect, but I've been technically I've been in a technical mode for about 2 months now, really fine tuning some changes, and I hadn't really let the play go. So I did the first event, the Mackenzie Tour. I was letting it go, but might have been letting it go in the wrong direction.
Right.
So,
well,
it wasn't bad. It wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad as it seemed, as any golfer would know. I think I was 3 over with 8 holes to play. 5 over ended up being the cut. The weather was pretty tough, windy, and I think only 9 under won the Mackenzie event. It was tough, but there's always, golfers always have long stories about why they don't play well. I always like to listen. I like to listen to people's stories more than I like to tell my own anymore now. I just like to go out and play the best I can. And if somebody wants to ask me a question about how I played, I'll be more than happy to tell them how I played. And we all listen to the woulda, coulda, shouldas, and I just chuckle nowadays. I played way too much golf now to realize it's like, well, in those moments, those woulda, coulda, shouldas, you got to recognize that that's a woulda, coulda, shoulda moment. You gotta recognize those moments and get out of them and make sure, And so, yes, I was mentally, I knew I was ready to come, even though I was getting down. But I was ready to roll at the PGA. The PGA of Canada Seniors event was one of two of my pinnacles on my goals and my pyramid of goals. And obviously the Champions Tour is first and foremost. I want to win on the Champions Tour, have status, but winning the Canadian Seniors was next in line. You're playing against the best seniors in the country, and couldn't come at a better time. Ken Fukushima, a buddy of mine, said to me, he came out of the scoring tent and he goes, "Well, Dennis, I think you just validated your exemption going into the Shaw charity." I said, I really wasn't thinking about it that way. I wasn't worried about it. They'd already given me the spot. It wasn't like I needed to win that, but I said, you know what, Kent, that's a good call. I think they made the right choice by picking me.
Yeah, and not only that was a huge win, and it must have felt great. But a come from behind win, you shoot an 8 under 64. And for a Sunday, that's fantastic, dude. Is that a career low, by the way?
Yeah. Well, career in a final round, yes. I have shot a 63 before, but again, same thing. The first couple of rounds. I just felt like it was right there, and I was still not scoring well. I was letting a lot of opportunities, and I said, I told a couple guys, they're all talking about the rounds. I just said, mine's coming. I can just feel it, and I kind of had that feeling going into the day, so it was a really good calm about me, and I went out and executed. It was just one of those days. Yeah.
It must have felt great to finally put up a win. How long has it been since you've won in any event? Because you haven't played in a while, and then the pandemic, and so a W's got to feel great. How long has it been?
I got to think about it for a second. It was only just last year, I think. I did win. I did win a spring zone event. I'm just trying to think of something else. I had the lead in the Texas Senior last year. I was 8 under through 36 and ended up finishing fourth. I think a couple, Omar Uresti and Jimmy Carter, a couple guys passed me, but I had some good leads. I was leading in Bermuda too. So this was a good one to come from behind. I had just, my last two close ones, I had lost having the lead. So this was kind of nice. Yeah. But I think it was the year before Ontario PGA. I won the spring Open division and the senior spring together. So that was
cool.
My last win. Yeah.
I think you already pretty much answered this unknowingly, but I'll ask anyway. Is that your biggest win so far in your entire career?
I think so. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. I mean, it's all in the eye of the beholder, I guess. It's just whatever you think an event means to you. And it was just, for me, it was one that I wanted to win as a senior. Again, as any athlete does, you visualize, you see things. I see myself holding some trophies, and I see interviews, and I see putts going in. That's the kind of thing that I do all the time, and awesome. Meditating. And this is one of them. I'd already seen myself doing this. So it's nice that I got it in only my second try. I'm pretty happy about that. And there's some pretty good players in there. So, yeah. So,
earlier, you touched base on you're heading to the Shaw Charity Classic in Calgary. Actually, you're heading there in a couple hours. So I thank you for taking this time. I know we're getting short here. So you got an exemption to this. You only 2 available, and you got this exemption before the win, I might add. So congrats on that. There's some big Canadian guys there. Mike Weir, we had David Moreland IV, Stephen Ames.
Yeah.
So you're in some good company there. I wish you all the best at that. So, but that's got to be a pretty big deal to be invited there, and you must be excited to get there.
I'm thrilled. I mean, like I said, I was really looking forward to my next start, just because I've been around a lot of the guys that are out there, even in other weeks that aren't part of the Champions Tour. Spending some time at TPC Sawgrass and played with a lot of guys out there. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be feeling a lot more comfortable maybe than I did the first few times. I wasn't uncomfortable, but I can't lie and say that it wasn't surreal the first few events, and just seeing Miguel Jimenez, all the guys, Colin Montgomery, so I was looking forward to the next start. I know it was going to come, but I wasn't sure. This is the only event that I've even sent in for an exemption before, and I was fortunate to be out there the last Shaw, and met the tournament director and just, put a face to the name and introduced myself and said, I only missed by 2 shots getting in here, and I look forward to playing in your tournament. And I went on after that event and did, the 3 in a row on the Champions Tour. So that was part of my resume. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a great start. I need a start right now. And we're going into a stretch for me where I can get into, there's 8 events in 10 weeks. So if I can get going here, if I'm playing well, I could get going, I could get rolling. So
awesome. And this is a bit of a special week for you too. You're going to have Kara on the bag, and your daughter Haley is also going to be caddying for Usteri, right?
No, Omar Uresti. Yeah.
Omar Uresti. My bad. My bad.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you got a little family affair going on this weekend. So that'll be a special time.
Yeah. I mean, I think Haley's, well, I'm excited to go play, obviously, but I think she's more excited. She just caddied for at the Canadian PGA and the Canadian Seniors. She caddied double looped all 4 days. So she had, did the morning, did the afternoon, and her one player, Brad Kerfoot, played really well. I think he got to 17 or 18 under for the 4 days. And so, she's going from caddying at the Canadian PGA Championship to jumping right into a Champions Tour event as a 16-year-old girl. It's going to be kind of cool, have that experience. She was actually exempt into the Women's Ontario Women's Am, but she's choosing to go caddy at this event. Yeah, I've told her. Yeah, I think so. I think the experience there. She's got the rest of her life to play good golf. Sure. So this is a great experience for her, and Omar's a great player, so she could have a great week.
That's amazing.
I think that environment's great for her. I really do, to see and feel that pressure. She could feel it on her own playing in the Women's Am, but you can't recreate being inside the ropes of a PGA Tour event, especially with these guys.
Definitely. So you're going to grind it out over the next 8 to 10 weeks. I guess the goal is ultimately to secure that senior PGA card, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to being out there full time and being able to, make a schedule and play events. It's the toughest tour to get on in the world. And, again, the perks and just the guys, like it's a great environment. It's so much fun. And we do, there's a lot of guys that are super competitive. So it's a blast. And I can't think of anything else, any other way to end my career other than maybe playing half the years that our buddy Rod Spittle played. I'd be thrilled. So
there's a blast from the past name. Holy. Well, listen, I wish you nothing but great success, not only this weekend, but over the next 10 weeks or whatever. It sounds like you got a bit of a grind coming up. I know you're going to be, there's so many spots you're heading to for these qualifiers, one being California in September. So if I am here, it would be cool to catch up with you. Maybe I'll make a trek up and say hello and watch you play. But I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you. I think it's one of these normal questions that everybody's dying to know. Is like, you've been playing since your 20s. You got some game. How many hole-in-ones do you got, mister?
I have 10.
10. That's amazing.
Did I nip you?
Well, I'm not usually speechless, but Jesus Christ, I've been playing since I was 4 or 5 years old, and I broke 80 twice. I've never had a hole-in-one though, and it pains me. I'm 47. Like I've come so close. As close as I've come is you couldn't put a ball between the hole and my ball, and that almost made me cry. I was like, why? I was so close.
It's going to happen when you least expect it. Yeah.
You know what? It's funny, and I'm a confident person, and when I don't go to a par 3 without telling myself today's the day. I'm going to get a hole-in-one, and it's one of those positive attitude. I vision it going in the hole. It's what you're supposed to do as a golfer. You see the shot, you feel it. It still hasn't happened, mister. It's eluded me.
It'll happen.
Yeah, one of these days. Hopefully it'll happen out here in Cali. There's some beautiful courses around here. And listen, I will patiently wait for it, and I know it will come. So listen, have a safe flight. It's been a pleasure having you on the show and catching up with you. I've got to play many rounds with you, knowing you over the years. You can pound the ball. You've got game. I think you got in your way back in the and even back in the day when I played with you more. You had kids and you had the business going. Golf wasn't your main focus, but I can definitely see a difference, if I may, watching your game now and following you and seeing it from back then to now. And look how far you've come. So well done. I wish you nothing but success, and I thank you for joining me on Bondzee Live, dude.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you bet. Say hi to Kara and the kids for me, and have a great week out in Calgary, will you?
Yeah, I'm going to have some fun for sure. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, you bet. Soak it all in. All right. Well, congrats on the big win again, by the way. And just go out and soak it in this weekend. Have a great time. Thanks for joining me.
All right, buddy. Yeah.
Take it easy, Dennis. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. That was awesome. Dennis Hendershott, everybody, just won the Canadian Senior PGA Championship, which was awesome. I mean, this makes me smile to know that I got a buddy who I have spent many years with, and to watch him go through the trials and tribulations of, he wanted to play better back in the day, but he realized, and I brought it up in. He had a younger kid. The kids were younger, running the business, the tours with the golf tours, which they did a fabulous job on, by the way. Kudos to Kara and Dennis. I brought out so many friends on that tour over the 7 years of being on it. I got to travel across Canada down to the USA. We went up to Ottawa, Quebec and stuff. It's just so many great memories from that time on that tour, and Dennis would go and play certain events here and there. I don't need these anymore because but you know what, I do need these because I'm gonna get into reading some notes here that in my eyes are just not what they used to be. Anyways, such a pleasure to talk to Dennis. Really happy for him that he won that, and I wish him nothing but continued success as he pursues his full-time senior PGA card. And he's going to be grinding it out over the road. It sounds like he's got a busy 8 over the next 10 weeks. So go get her, buddy, and have a great time. All right, let's get into some videos here. I've got a couple of doozies for you here today, and then I'm going to get the hell out of here. I'm exhausted. I can't tell you how much that sun just kicked my ass today. What do I got here? Let's start with this one. Where are we at? Listen, okay, folks, I know life's tough, but man, am I thankful that my life does not consist of this. God bless running water, folks. I mean, if you think you're having a bad day and you're down in the gutter, just go back and watch this video. This is how this poor bastard has to bathe. Through cow piss? I don't know. My buddy sent that to me, and I was just like, dude, what in the royal hell did you just make me watch? So because I had to watch it, you had to watch it. Sorry, that's just the way it goes. Sorry. Anyways, let's delete that one. Let's get to the next one here. This one blows my mind. Okay. Hold on. Again, I'm a one-man show here, but this one's crazy. Share screen. Let's go to Chrome tab. This one's awesome. This is the luckiest bugger on the face of the planet right here. Check out this monkey. Play. Okay, check this out. The one tiger. Yeah, those are tigers. Leaps for him. The monkeys, now he's dangling there, but the lions are too stupid. The one's right in front of him, and he doesn't even know. And it's like, Branch, please don't break. Please don't break. And then he gets up out of it. Watch this again. Oh, the one tiger tries to make a leap for it, just misses them. And now the dude's hanging there. And doesn't look like the strongest of branches either, by the way. Anyways, I love monkeys, and I'm so glad he got away. And listen, I know the tigers got to eat and stuff, but Nobody wants to see a poor little monkey get eaten. And God bless that branch. It hung on for dear life for that poor monkey. Holy macro. Could you imagine? Whew. All right. What next? I got a couple more for you here before I go. Nope, not that one. Wrong button, bozo. How about this one? This is wild. The look on this lady's face, and could you imagine how horrified she must be? But this is pretty wild. Psych. I love this video. Check this out again. Watch it in slow motion. You're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. When I first saw it, I was like, holy shit. No way. Oops, I hit the wrong button. That is the first time in 112 episodes that I hit the entire wrong button and I closed the entire screen and I was like, oh my God, I guess the show's over. I just abruptly ended it. Thankfully, when I jumped right back on, because I didn't hit end broadcast, I just closed the screen. I'm still here. Jackson Reville, love you, buddy. Thank you. I hope you got to see that interview with Dennis. You were one of the guys I met on the tour, and I'm thankful and so blessed to this day, dude, that we are still friends. We met on the I was almost called the Great Lakes Tour. It was the Great Lakes Tour, which evolved into the Gulf Town Tour, which you won many events on, mister. And congrats on that. I really do love you too, pal. Congrats on your upcoming marriage, your engagement. No matter where I am on this planet, I will be at that wedding. So I thank you for inviting me. It's super awesome of you. And I couldn't be happier for a better dude. Kathy Janak, thanks for watching from the Wabashine area. I can't remember all those little towns. It's been so long. Port something. Where are you? Port McNick? No, the one before that. What the hell is that fucking town called? I lived there, for Christ's sakes, and I don't even remember it. Terrible memory on my. Sean G.I. says, but can't come to Vancouver. I am coming to Vancouver, you son of a bitch. I told you. I am Reverend Father Bondzee, whatever you want to call it. Father sounds a little dirty. The fathers weren't they like the diddlers? Reverend Bondzee will be performing. Speaking of weddings, I will be performing a wedding in Vancouver Island. I can't remember the name of the that my friends live in, but excuse me. I will be performing, Reverend Bondzee will be performing a wedding in February. I will be in the Vancouver-ish area, and Sean, I might come up and I might just pay you a visit, mister. So you hold your horses and watch your filthy little tongue. Love you too, pal. It was a pleasure having you on the show the other night. Midland, I said, yeah, but what was the town you lived in where I lived with well, we won't bring up her name. There was that little town. There was Wabashine, Port McNichol. There was something, and I am having a complete memory loss of the name of that goddamn town. Oh my God. Anyways, Numbskull of the week goes to this loser. Speaking of Wabashine, by the way, how about this idiot? I meant to put this up on last show, but we ran out of time. Now, I know I've seen guys do this with Tim Hortons Coffee's Cup, and for some reason, I don't know, they think they're cool or whatever. But this loser from the Wabashine area was driving around with an absolute car full of empty beer cans. Now, okay, there might be stupider things to do, but it's the stupidest thing to do when your license is suspended and you go through a ride check. So guess what? My boy got his car impounded, and he also got in a plethora of trouble. So because of that and this, he is dummy of the week for sure. Hands Victoria Harbor, of course. I can't believe I forgot that. Thank you, Kathy, for that. Anyways, it's amazing, and I'm not surprised that this happened in the Wabashine area, nor should anybody from that area be. I think he was 23 or 24. Not a whole lot of common sense upstairs, if you will. Geez. Now, because I closed the whole screen, but to the show, I did lose a couple of videos that I was going to play for you. So it's a perfect time to end the show. It's been an hour and 5 minutes. That's another Bondzee Live. Episode 112 is in the books. Special thanks to Dennis Hendershott for joining Bondzee Live on Trippin With Bondzee on my YouTube channel and the Dean Blundell Network, as well as Facebook. But I'm pretty much running, I don't know. I guess I'll keep the show up on Facebook just because. And people think, oh, you only got only two people watching on Facebook. Why don't you even do this show, loser? Well, guess what, losers? If that's your mindset, then don't even watch my show because I don't need you in my life. I get a plethora of views through my YouTube channel and the Dean Blundell Network, or I wouldn't simply do the show. I don't do this for fun and sit here and rhyme off and put all the time and effort. I do into it. Gripes. I don't care about 2 or 3 or 4 fucking views on Facebook. Facebook can suck it. I hate Facebook, but I need Facebook. So it is what it is. Anyways, thanks guys so much for watching. The people that watch on the Dean Blundell Network, God bless you. I don't care where you watch the show. Thanks for watching, being part of it. I love doing this. It's been fantastic. We're at 112, kicking ass on the Dean Blundell Network. Catch me there on Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Dean Blundell Show. Then that 6 p.m., I will be doing the show. We will have special guest, one of the only female drag racers, I think, across Canada. I think she can answer this question better than me, and it will be one of my questions. How many of there are you that actually do this? She's female. I almost gave her age. I'm not going to give her age. But she's female, and she drag races Hellcats. It's amazing. Anyways, I'm fascinated by her. Can't wait to have Tara Graves on the show Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Trippin With Bondzee. It's Bondzee Live and on the Dean Blundell Network. Hit me up on social media if you haven't already. It's at Bondzee Live. Go to Twitter, go to TikTok, go to Instagram. Search Bondzee Live. Hit the subscribe and also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. It's free. So what's the problem? Anyways, I love you guys. That's it. Enjoy the rest of your week. Catch me Wednesday on Dean and my own show, and then Friday as well. Oh, and Jamie Petrie and his band will be on the show Wednesday night as well because Jamie had to go do father and daughter thing tonight. Got her first car. Super special moment. I didn't want him to miss it for this. Come on. That's enough. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Kathy Janak, so many other people on the show tonight. Jackson Reville, Brad Sandercock, Wendy, Anthony, Alan Dalton, all the way in PEI. It's amazing to have people watch my show from around the world. God bless you all. Love you. Love one another. Love yourself. All right. Peace and love. That's it. That's the Bonzarelli Show. Pip, pip. Bye.